Alright, hotshot. You got your slab. It looks good. You're going to keep it really wet. And I would start building immediately. I wouldn't set this in the cabinet because it's so much surface area, it's going to dry out. Before you start construction and start cutting this all apart, you have an option, and there's a limited amount of time to take advantage of that option. We literally have dozens of these texture mats, and they all have different textures on them, and you're welcome to use any of them. And you know, I'm a fan of these in certain cases. I like it a lot better when an artist carves their own design, but that isn't always practical, and it's not always what you want. So sometimes these little texture mats can be a really nice solution to having a little bit of a problem or time limitation to I guess taking the time to carve such a complex design. Okay? So what you need to do is grab one of these little rollies. These are a little rounded on one side, and you can see that it's kind of got a rounded surface, and flat on the other. I like the rounded side. And you can lay down this texture mat. I'm going to do a little bit of each texture, and I'll start giving a good press into the clay. And then you have to apply good even pressure all over. That's why I like the rollers. And this will not work when the clay is super, super wet. So don't wet it down before you put this on. It'll stick. It'll get all gummed up. Take a little peek. See what it looks like. Not quite deep enough. Continue to add a lot of pressure to it. There you can see. How cool is that? You got a little texture. A little fish scale or rooftop texture. Okay? I'm surprised that didn't stick to the table, but can you see that? That's a really nice dragon scale or whatever. Make a nice mug. Feathers. Any of these work. These are a little bit softer. I find that you have to make a little bit of a heavier impression. Really push that mold into the clay. Should have peeked first. Got a little weak spot here, but you can see. Really nice texture on that. It's really cool. One suggestion I have, I just thought of, is to take and put a piece of canvas underneath here, or a piece of paper, so that it doesn't stick to the... I'm not having any problems with mine. It just takes a little bit of peeling to get it up off the table. Yours might stick. So laying down a piece of regular old notebook paper underneath will keep it from sticking, and you just peel the notebook paper off when you're done. So that is an option for all of you. Look at all the cool designs we have. There's about 15 more over by the racks here. Let me zoom out. You can see this is where we keep them stored. Usually laying right here. We even have found object stuff that people bring in. All sorts of mats. All have different textures on them. You could also stamp. That's a good option. And you could also take one of these rollers and roll it across there in different directions. That's a good time to do it instead of waiting until your form is constructed and you can't press as hard into the form without destroying your vase or your mug or your teapot, whatever you happen to be making. That's it. Good luck.